Continuing my rebuild of the ZX81 game Caverns, never released on the ZX81. In the last video I built a simple sprite engine to allow the spaceship and tank at the top of the screen to come in from the left and the right of the screen. In this video I'll go on to use the sprite engine for some more of the animations. In the sprite definition there are two triggers for events, a pause field and a flag to display a trailing cleanup character or not. The triggers are hooks to call routines when the sprite stops moving or hits something. The first event I wrote was to close the tunnel behind the tank when it's moving into place, stopping the dwarfs from going into that area. Then onto the tank missile. Once the tank has reached its position, then it starts firing missiles toward the spaceship as a game timer. The missile is the ZX81 character, and behind it a space is drawn as it moves. When it hits the hill between the tank and the spaceship, it destroys part of the hill, repeating until it's gone right through to the spaceship, at which point the spaceship takes off and the game ends. So for this sprite there are two events. The first is when it hits the hill, the second is when it breaks through to the spaceship. The first is collision detection with the hill, and the second checks the missile's position to be triggered. In the sprite definition there is a field to show which routine is called for the collision, and another field to show the routine when the missile breaks through, which is called when the missile reaches the x.x position. The collision detection calls the sprite collision action routine, passing in the routine number to call, in this case 1. The missile stop event calls the sprite stop action routine, passing in the routine to call, which causes the spaceship to take off, which is action 2. First I had a bug with the collision detection not working, then I got it working with the missile working correctly. When the missile hits the hill it first destroys some of it, sets the missile to pause for 5 cycles, and resets it to be back at the tank, redrawing it there. The pause counter is one of the sprite definition fields. I did initially try and define the memory position to be called for the triggers in the sprite definition, and have a dynamic call routine. This was problematic, and the best solution for problems with the Z80 I'm finding is to come up with a simple solution, and this saves hours of debugging. I next went on to the bridges. These open and close so the alien can run across the top of them. My first attempt was to use a single sprite for each bridge, swapping the character between the solid character when the bridge is closing and the space character when it's opening. Again this was problematic, and I simplified the solution by having 2 sprites per bridge, one for when it was opening, one when it was closing, toggling between the two. So a double bridge will have 4 sprites. With the bridge there was no need for the erase character to be set behind the bridge character, and the erase car behind flag is set. I did get this working pretty much, but there are still bugs that I'll have to fix in the next session. While these functions would be simple to code in high-level language, in Z80 they were proving trickier, and each function was taking several hours to code. The next won't be turning up till August to test on though, so I have plenty of time. I'd like to say thank you to my subscribers for reaching 100 subscribers. So next I'll go on to finish off the bridges and go on to the Balrog, but that's for another day.